Okay, today we're going to look at the second part of lesson 1.2, and this will be on the order of operations. I'm sure you have your composition notebook for math. If you don't have a notebook yet, then just use a sheet of paper, and let's get going. So take a second to set up your notes. Just as you see on the screen, hit the pause button and then resume when you're ready. All right, today we're looking at the order of operations. The essential question for today is, how do I simplify expressions? And more specifically, how do I do that using the order of operations? So the order of operations, as you may already know, looks like this, PEMDAS. But really, that should be written in this way. And if you haven't seen this before, I'll explain. So instead of copying this on your paper, go ahead and copy it in this way. The order of operations is just the order that you simplify expressions. And you do that by first looking for parentheses. Now, parentheses means that you're doing work inside the parentheses. Something that looks like this is not parentheses work, that's just multiplication. The parentheses work would have something inside the parentheses to do. Next thing you're going to do is look for exponents. After that, you look for multiplication and division. And when you look for multiplication and division, those two sort of hold the same weight. So when you look for multiplication or division, you're going to use what's called the left to right rule. That just means as you work through the problem, you move from the left to the right, doing any multiplication or any division that you come across. Same is true with addition and subtraction. You use the left to right rule. You add or subtract as you see it moving left to right. So let's look at a couple examples. Take a second to copy down example 1. Pause the video if you need to. All right, in this problem, you see a set of parentheses, and there's work to do inside the parentheses. So I'm going to do the work in the parentheses. 6 minus 2 is 4, raised to the third power, divided by 2. Now in algebra, getting the right answer is important, but it's equally important to show each step to justify how you got that answer. So if you haven't already gotten into the habit of showing your work like this is something that you need to work towards this year. 4 to the third power is the next part of the problem because it's an exponent, and you yesterday downloaded a handy-dandy calculator. So, the answer's already there. So you can take your calculator and find the answer to an exponent by using what's called the caret key. It's right here where I'm pressing on it, under the clear button. You do that like this. 4 raised to the third power equals 64. And then the last step, 64 divided by 2 is 32. When you're finished, highlight your answer, circle, box. My favorite is highlight. Notice that in this problem, I didn't write equals. In algebra, each line of the problem means equal to. So it's not necessary. In fact, it's bad to write in equals to on each line. So get out of that habit if you're doing that. All right, let's look at one more. The second problem has a fraction in it, so take a second to copy that down. Hit pause. All right, when you're simplifying an expression that has a fraction, you really treat the top part of the problem and the bottom part of the problem as two different problems, and you follow the order of operations on each. So I'm going to look at the top and follow the order of operations. There are no parentheses. There's an exponent, so 2 to the fourth power is 16. There's nothing on the bottom, so I'm going to leave that. 16 minus 1 is 15. And 15 divided by 5 is 3. Highlight my answer. What you notice is, hopefully, that you'll see this work done in what's called a triangular form. You start with a complex expression, and you work your way down to a single value. All right, copy down these two. We'll call this example 2. Try those on your own, and then pause the video and resume when you're ready. All right, for this first example, I don't see any parentheses to do, but I do see exponents, so I'm going to simplify that. 4 to the second power is 16, and then I'm going to write all of the rest of the problem. There are no exponents, so I move on to multiplication and division, and I use the left to right rule. So as I move from the left to the right, I'm going to simplify multiplication or division, whatever I see first. So the first thing I see is multiplication. 5 times 7 is 35 minus. Now, I hit the next part of the problem, and it's division, so I can go ahead and do that now as well. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 35 minus 8 is 27. And that's it. For the second part, again, it's a fraction, so I'm going to treat the top and the bottom as separate problems. Looking at the top part, I see an exponential number, 3 to the 4th power. Grab my handy-dandy calculator. 3 raised to the 4th power is 81. 4 plus 81. The bottom part of the problem is kind of its own problem, so I'm going to do that. 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 plus 81 is 85. 85 divided by 5 is 17. And that's it. So open up your OneNote notebook. The assignment for today is lesson 1.2 part 2. It's in your notebook in the chapter 1 tab. And you can get started.